Fix your microphone.
Your microphone is bullshit.
Well, we're off to a great start with this brand new campaign.
Good.
Ladies and gentlemen, Reconnections 2, Session 1.
Uno.
Dos. No, Uno.
Should probably introduce ourselves.
We find ourselves in a quaint little hamlet called Tenby. Let's start left to right on the map.
That's not.
So that's you first.
That's me. Hi, my name is Ketsia. I'm a half-elf. I was raised by my mother and father. Mom was an elf and dad was a human in the nearby elvish civilization. My father used to be a great adventurer, and all I wanted to do was follow in his footsteps, and Mom didn't think that was very good. But, I mean, everybody has to live their own life, right? So I am out trying to make my way in the world and hoping to be a grand adventurer just like my father.
I love you. All right. Starting the green spooky border. My name is Daryl Winter. I know the look, right? I haven't been getting much sleep. Like, it's complicated. Daryl is a very unhealthy looking human male. Deep sunken eyes, a haunted expression, some defensive wounds. Looks like he slept in his clothing because he slept in his clothing. Strangely compelling, though. Like you can't look away.
Like a train wreck. Was I supposed to give a physical description? Because I definitely didn't.
Yes, that would be nice.
Okay. She is about 5'5", I think. Maybe she was a little taller. I'll double check on the height. Anyway, sort of pale skin, raven black hair, and bright green eyes. She has a very bubbly personality, very optimistic, probably a little naive. We'll find out. But she is carrying a great axe that looks absurdly large for her, but it has dwarven symbols in the head of the axe, and it looks like it's seen some action. Wearing very ornately, very well made hide armor, specialty of the people where I come from, and also carrying a musical instrument.
Mm-hmm.
Is it my turn?
Yes, do that thing.
All right. My name's Patrick. Patrick Adley. I'm a dwarf. I'm approximately 4 foot 2 inches because I'm a dwarf. I have a beard, also because I'm a dwarf. My father is dead. My mother,
because I'm a dwarf.
Mother's dead. Sister's also dead. My older brother, yeah, he's dead. Half brother, dead.
Half dead.
I didn't kill any of them, but death is the way of life. Death is the one true thing. I'm a cleric. I wander the earth and roam from town to town and usually not too keen on preaching, since not everyone's prepared to hear my gospel. Yeah, let's just leave it at that. Been kind of out in the woods for a little while and eating nothing but squirrels, so kind of looking for some grub in town.
So
Fire squirrels.
that's squirrel pudding.
Everything leads back to MST3K.
Yeah.
Patrick, did you do your description as well?
Sure did.
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously there are some dogs running around this town. No, I guess he's busy with his water bowl. It does actually seem oddly busy for a town this size. You are clearly not the only adventurers who have gathered here today. A lot of them are milling around the stalls as Daryl and Patrick are. Patrick? I'm going to keep calling him Patrick.
It's Patrick.
Katisha, some are still streaming in behind you.
I'm sorry, what did you just call me?
Katisha?
Ketsia.
Katisha, okay.
Ketsia.
I said what I said.
Fatima?
Oh man, that's
Dude, I didn't mispronounce Larunther Canoe. You can say Ketsia. It's only 3 fucking syllables.
It's part of being a DM.
You know, interestingly enough, that sort of sounds similar to my manager's name.
And they're dead. Wait, is this in character or out of character?
I mean, my manager at my old job.
Because you're a dwarf?
Because I'm a dwarf.
Oh. We're off to a
You're
great
at the Dwarven Starbucks.
You're not my manager. That's part of the way you might describe Daryl. He looks like he could be in middle management if he wasn't so disheveled.
You know, Josh has a point. There's kind of two of you guys with an obsession with that.
Obsession with what?
Josh, he says Reconnections 2, quote unquote, I'm a think Patrick has an obsession with death.
It's Patrick.
The difference here is that he thinks it's an end goal.
Lots of dogs barking around you.
Jeez.
There's even a crow flying around above.
I would cast silence if I could.
If you could.
But I can't.
But everyone that's here in the town is like a day early. You've all come because there's a big adventurers competition being planned. Lots of gold, lots of prestige.
Lots of death.
Lots of death, yes. This is a professional level competition. This is not for people starting out, even though you're just starting out. From the description you were given, it sounds like something you should be able to do.
So many dogs.
Well, I've always pick up your voice. Not like I was going to get any sleep anyway. I've always heard that music soothes the savage beast. Daryl walks over like more towards the town square and pulls out a saw.
Hey, puppy.
A
No,
saw?
actually,
A
puppy.
saw, a hand saw, an unreasonably large hand saw for him to have it on his person.
What
Sorry, I started.
are you doing with that?
What you gonna do with that there handsaw?
Perform check 19, saw music.
Nice.
Quit licking me. Oh, you sneezed all over me. Go lay down.
Well, it
Go
seems
lay
to.
down. Lay down.
Patrick and Sia, you start hearing it's an oddly lovely warbling noise.
A little haunting, if you will.
right? Kind of haunting.
Is he
Coming
playing
from the
green?
direction of the large central inn. There's a small crowd starting to gather around it as well.
Is he playing green sleeves?
I mean, if he's not, he's doing it wrong.
The only thing I've ever heard played on a saw, thanks to Home Improvement.
Maybe it's Oh Danny Boy. Who knows?
Patrick is acquiring some bread and some meat.
Okay. Both seem available.
How much?
Like it's not the greatest bread or the greatest meat, but it'll do. Call it 2 copper each.
Done. Sold. I'm gonna take my bread. I'm gonna take my meat. I'm gonna go watch this goofy guy with the saw.
You two, please don't copy strike us.
I don't know if this Saw performance has a lot of copyright behind it, but so yeah, it's kind of like Saw music is kind of like a theremin, except
I was gonna say it sounds an awful lot like a theremin.
Yeah. Bet you didn't expect Saw music. We're off to a grand start.
I'm going to make my way toward the sound of the music.
Now the hills are alive with it.
Which is weird because there's plains as far as the eye can see, but you're hearing sounds from the hills.
Yeah.
To hear that, Patrick, the hills are alive with the sound of music. Not dead.
Yikes.
Undead.
I pull out a sort of mid-sized harp. Like it's not an auto harp, but it's also not a big old sit-down harp. It's one that, were I sitting down, it could rest in my lap. And I sort of gesture at you, Daryl, as if to ask if you would care for some accompaniment.
I give you a nod. A nod coming from a place of deep fatigue.
If you must. So I will sort of sit cross-legged on the ground next to you and attempt to accompany you.
I'll kick out my hat in front of the both of us, upside down.
I have got the biggest smile on my face. Like, I don't even know what the hat is for.
Yeah.
But I'm just sitting there happily playing along with you.
I don't know why this is happening, but leaving the Elven village was the best thing ever.
I'm just so happy to be here.
Patrick, you see some rando join the weird guy. She pulls out a harp instead of a saw. And they just start playing together.
Patrick is gonna start clapping to the rhythm, but offbeat. 'Cause
1 and 3?
What?
2 and 4?
Get that backbeat.
It's
And I don't set down my bread or meat when I clap.
God, you're getting
thud, this gravy.
You're getting breadcrumbs and meat juice flung all over the place. People are not happy with you.
I nod back to the harpist in a sort of take it, and I let her do a solo, and I look at this dwarf who is throwing meat around. Look, I just got the dogs to shut up. Can you not throw meat all over the place?
I eat of my loaf at you.
Patrick, that crow or that raven that's been circling above comes down and lands on your shoulder, starts pecking at your loaf of bread.
How rude.
Every time.
I look utterly enchanted at the bird, and I sort of gasp, like, "Oh, look, a wild creature here in the midst of town."
Yeah, I'm used to it.
The song I stopped playing. Thank you. I'll probably be here for the rest of my life.
I will do a final chord on the harp and then say, "Thank you. I don't know how long I'll be here." And then I will sort of go up to my fellow music lover, having sort of strapped my harp back onto my back. "Hi! Thank you so much for letting me play with you." And I sort of grab your hand and shake it in a very almost like violent way as I'm trying to say hello.
It is rough and calloused to the touch. It is a workman's hand. Thank you for joining in. I looked down at the hat. How well did we do?
There's a few gold in there, mostly coppers, a couple silver. You see another well-dressed gentleman still standing nearby. Oh, he is not squat.
But
He's huge.
Yikes!
that's a big effing dude.
No,
I'm the only
it's a
person.
reference, you shits.
I'm the only person he doesn't overshadow.
Another well-dressed standing nearby. He tosses in a platinum piece.
Whoa.
Big spender.
Wow. I never knew that you could play music and people would just give you money.
Some towns are better than others. Honestly, though, you followed those chord progressions pretty well. I'm pleased. I think it helped. I
Yeah.
try to divide whatever this winds up being equally.
I refuse it. I didn't mean to, I don't want to I'm not here to horn in on your profits. I just wanted someone to play with. I haven't had anybody to share my music with since I left home, and it just seemed like such a good opportunity. But no, you keep the money. That wasn't why I was here.
So you guys know
I look very embarrassed, for the record.
Very well. If you change your mind, I'll. Well, I'm the one that looks like this.
I'm the one that looks like this, and I will shake your hand again.
I don't get it. Is this part of the act?
We didn't have an act per se.
So the show's over?
I look at Darryl. Is the show over?
Well, for the moment, I need to grab something to drink.
I'm Ketsia, by the way.
Darryl Winter.
It's a very great pleasure to meet you, Darryl. If Ketsia is too much of a mouthful, you can call me Ket. Ketsia, it's an elvish name, and I will sort of absent-mindedly pull my hair back behind my ears, and you can see that they are ever so slightly pointed.
Ketsia it is. I believe in, honoring true names.
Well, thank you.
I'm pleased to make your acquaintance. I'm not entirely sure you'll feel the same way if you get to know me better, but I appreciate it.
You're a very interesting person, Darryl. I am also very pleased to make your acquaintance, and I think I'll still feel that way later if you
Well,
let
I'm
me
a lot more
hang around with
interesting
you.
than I used to be. I'll tell you that.
I feel like there's a story behind that.
Yep. I wander away.
Okay then.
I go find where beverages are being.
That would be in the inn.
Yeah, is the inn
Big central building.
in the center? So I was outside of the inn. That makes sense.
Yep.
I go in that inn.
You've gone super quiet again.
I go in that inn.
You sure do.
It wasn't. I didn't like. It wasn't the rudest thing that I just totally walked away, but it was close.
Pretty rude.
I don't think you get to decide how rude it was.
Yeah, that's not quite how that works.
I mean, I thought it was fine.
That's acceptable.
There's this other guy that was watching from nearby. He wanders in right after you. The fancy-looking guy, since Daryl left, turns to Katisha.
Wow.
Says, "My dear, that was lovely."
Kathera. I did nod at that guy at the very least.
Oh, thank you. A little bit of impromptu music in the street, as it were.
Yes, never would have expected it from a town like this, but always a pleasant surprise.
Oh, I don't know anything about this particular town. I walked in the gate about 7 minutes ago, actually.
Oh, you've got 5 minutes more on me then.
Oh,
Where did you learn to play like that?
at home. My mother is Elvish, and of course my aunts all demanded that I learn how to play an instrument like a proper Elvish girl, even if I'm only half Elvish.
My dear, I would love to hear all about that. Shall we adjourn for a drink?
Um, uh, sure, thank you.
He has balls enough to put a hand on her back and lead her into the inn.
She is naive enough not to see that as a warning sign.
And Petrick, other guy,
Does that seem reasonable to you as a take, DM?
yeah, it looks like.
Okay.
Petrick, this other guy that was watching several steps away from you, watching the show. Once it's clearly disbanded, he comes up, puts a hand on the shoulder
Oh, your back.
that the raven is sitting on.
Wait, sorry. Hand on the shoulder that the raven was on or was not on?
Is on.
Is on.
Through the raven?
No, he puts a hand on the shoulder, like under the raven.
Ooh.
The bread and meat are mine. The raven's yours if you want it.
And the raven hops up his arm, kind of does that ridiculously adorable bird walk up to his shoulder, and it says for him, "Thanks."
Mostly we figure that means thanks.
And the guy just flashes a smile and walks off without saying anything himself.
Ooh, you're in there, Petrick.
He goes into the inn as well.
Not gonna lie, that might be the strangest thing I saw, like, at least this week.
You haven't lived.
All right, so everyone's in the inn.
Oh, I'm gonna wander in there because, yeah, everyone's apparently in there.
Everyone but Petrick.
Barkeep.
Oh, okay. Who's
At this table.
guy I came in with, right?
Yep.
Over here? Okay.
You be there. He will make sure you're on the inside corner.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Tarped. Barkeep.
Yeah.
You got any switchel?
What the hell is switchel?
It's molasses and vinegar.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
It's a laborer's drink.
It's fucking gross. No, we got some nice brown ale though.
You got some vinegar?
Not on me.
How about the shelves?
No, that's where we keep the booze.
You got butter?
You got butter?
What?
You got water?
Well, we got some water.
You got maybe some wine? What's been sitting around?
Cum vinegar?
With all you adventuring types coming in, it's all pretty fresh nowadays.
I'll take some water and make it a double.
Water. You get your double water.
That's half and half. Half water, half wine. I do I hold my finger.
We don't water down our wine here.
You do if I ask, right?
I'll give you a cup of wine and a cup of water, and let's say you do with it what you will.
Half full, both of them?
No, they're going to be regular cups.
Okay, then I'm going to need a third cup, aren't I?
You're going to be that kind of problem, aren't you?
Patrick is just chugging water.
Look, can you just get me the beverage?
You get a glass of wine, a cup of water, and an empty pint glass.
And a dirty look.
Yeah.
I will say to my companion, "Oh, my new friend over there seems like he's not having the best day."
Thank you. The voice was different.
Oh, I'm sure he'll be fine. Just fine. Now, tell me all about you.
Splish splash. I've been making a cocktail.
Well, I'm afraid there's not terribly much to tell. I was raised in an elvish village about 3 days travel from here on foot. Mother was an elf and father was human. And I wasn't happy there. I felt like there was more to life than, well, I'll say more to life than playing music and writing poetry, although I do certainly enjoy playing music. Never got into poetry, though.
No poetry.
No.
While you're talking, he's turned mostly towards you on his seat. He's still got the hand on your back, and he's got his other hand on top of one of yours on the table.
I'm sending a whisper, GM.
Cool. Kitsia, make a perception check.
Yes, sir.
Although it's probably going to be pretty easy.
Give me a hot second here.
Can I get one too?
Yeah. No.
No?
No. You won't be able to see what
All
he's doing.
Can I? -1.
No, you're in an even worse position, Patrick.
You got to look through Darrell. He takes up a little more. He takes up a little more space than he seems like he might.
But Kitsia, you feel the hand that was on your back start reaching towards your belt.
Okay. That where we're going then.
That's where he's going.
So he's got one
Off
hand,
the belt line.
so he's got one hand, like I'm assuming considering where we're sitting, he's got his right hand on my back and his left hand on top of, my hands, which are stacked up on top of the table.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to pull my left hand out from under my right and his left, take a quick drink of my beverage, and then grab him by the wrist and say, I suppose I should mention that my father was a famous adventurer,
Oh, really?
and he taught me how to, let's say, defend myself.
Well, you're just full of interesting stories, aren't you?
Yes, and I'm sure that you have the purest of intentions. I would hate to think ill of anybody. But at the same time, you are making me a little uncomfortable.
With a 15, do I get that defensive movement?
Yeah.
And can I hear them from where I am, or am I able to read her lips well enough that I get that last?
There's a bit of a din, what with all the other randos in the end.
Yeah.
But you got a clear shot to her face, so yeah, you can read her lips.
All right, I will get up.
My dear, I assure you, entirely the purest of intentions.
That's what I thought.
I simply find you just fascinating.
Well, that's nice, but maybe,
You can do a sense motive if you want.
okay. I suppose you're right. I was reading too much into that as myself and not my...
No, he seems genuine.
I
Just
bring.
a little happy.
Did he take his hand off of my belt?
He did. Well, he took it off the belt, but it's back on the back.
Okay. So I guess my question is, is he going for my belt as in trying to unhook it, or is he trying to get my coin purse?
You're not entirely sure just yet.
Okay.
I bring all 3 of the tankards over, which at this point basically have an equal amount of half wine, half water in all of them.
Jesus Christ.
And I stumble over the chair as I approach the table. Mind if I oh God! And I dump a tankard on the gentleman.
Oh my goodness!
He sits there and takes the splash.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. It's mostly,
Well, roll your bluff.
okay. It's half water, so probably should
Daryl, are you okay?
stay. Well, that old ankle, it's gonna be sore in the morning. But hey,
Yeah, he sits there and he takes it, kind of turns to try to block it from splashing Kitsia, and then just gives you a sour look. Sir, you really must be careful in these old inns. The floors are rickety and uneven, especially with you sloppier drunks.
yeah.
Daryl, this is my new acquaintance. I'm sorry, I never did get your name.
Well, how rude of me. My name is Gwelitrim Vilsaran. Call me Gwel. He is a human. He's in his later years. He's got some salt and pepper going. Let me load this back up for you.
He leaves.
What?
He walks away, enlarges.
No, he's got some salt and pepper going. Yeah, he doesn't look quite like the rest of the adventurers. He looks more like a politician.
You look soft and squidgy.
He's a little Vincent Price.
A little bit.
And a little damp.
Well, he is now. Moist, if you would.
Yeah. That's the way I like to leave him. I'd like to thank you for your patronage. It's helpful.
And this guy that was at the end of the bar helps himself over. Yes, sir. That was some mighty fine saw blade you played there.
Yep, I picked it up.
And you with the hop, that was lovely.
Oh, thank you so much.
So
I must be honest, Daryl, I've never seen anybody play a saw before.
Well, it's amazing what you can learn when you're waiting on materials that they failed to deliver on time.
I giggle. Not realizing how sad a joke that really is.
What is
Patrick's gonna wander over and just like stare at everybody on the table.
Hey,
Oh, hi, it's you again.
Well, I just saw everyone circling around. I thought maybe you guys were playing cards or something.
Where's your bird?
What?
Your
Oh,
bird.
my
You had
bird.
a bird earlier.
I point over at the bird on the guy's shoulder in the corner.
Oh, his
Let
bird.
Bob, it is on his shoulder still. He reaches across with a hand to Ketsia first, Llewellyn, and then to Gwel, Llewellyn Goliad, then to Petrick, and then to Daryl.
yep, hi, pleased to meet you.
I mean, he's what?
He introduced himself to the other guy. I was trying to sense motive to see if he was introducing himself to someone that he knew,
Oh.
like if they knew each other. But
No,
the three, you don't find out things.
no. I mean, what is Petrick's for?
To figure out if these guys are actually playing cards or not.
Not currently,
Somebody's playing grab ass, but it's not me.
but surprise, surprise, you get another joiner who pulls up a chair right next to Petrick.
I'm not sitting down.
He's just
He's still got a chair right next to you.
he's a dwarf because he's a dwarf.
I'm just standing.
Never sit, as a rule.
Yes.
I take this opportunity to look over at the rest of the tavern.
Is there anybody in it?
There
Yeah,
are-
it's full of people.
okay.
I don't see them. They're invisible.
Yes, they are
There are
invisible.
tables though, right?
Yes.
That have empty space.
No, the other tables are taken.
Oh, okay. Well, this isn't as weird.
Oh no, it's weird.
But no, this latest guy, he pulls out a deck of cards. He says, "Hey, it looks like we got a game going over here." Why do all of my guys have southern accents?
You've always
Apparently, you can only do one kind of accent.
Apparently.
You've always depended on the kindness of strangers.
I literally just said that.
Oh.
Just now.
Sorry.
What's your game?
Oh, I'm game for any game.
Yeah, but what's your game?
What's your game?
He rattles off just a list.
I play only high stakes baccarat.
Fix
Oh,
your
you might
microphone.
feel that then?
What?
Fix your microphone.
Sorry. I only play high stakes baccarat.
You want to
Play
deal with
high-low,
something?
lose a finger?
No, I don't.
No.
My luck's not that. Let's just say it's not very good.
Then why the baccarat?
It was a. Never mind.
Oh, a joke. I get it.
Southern
Huh.
and Canadian, apparently.
Southern Wisconsin. Got it.
I'm trying to.
Southern Minnesota.
I'm doing accents.
Okay. Yeah, but I'll observe.
Sure. Well, who wants to pick a game? Who wants to pick a game? Hey,
Gin rummy.
I look across the table. Gentleman's choice.
oh, rummy sounds just fine. He gives gives Petrick a wink.
See, and I was just thinking gin.
And then this new guy starts dealing.
If he starts sending cards my way, I will explain that I don't know how to play.
Oh, I will show you how to play, dear.
Who said that?
Simple.
Does that mean that he takes his hands off of me long enough to hold his damn cards?
Not yet.
Who says he'll show her?
Gwell.
Pansy McGrabass.
Let me sense motive on that.
Man, one of
Yeah,
my motives.
he's keen to show her.
Show her what?
That you don't get.
His etchings.
That I don't get that. I don't get. He's showing her.
Yep.
So, what brings three eclectic folks like yourself to this no-account hamlet?
I was out in the wilderness for a while and wanted some good food, good grub.
Well, they do have food. True enough.
Llewellyn pipes up. Well, I imagine it's the same thing that brought the rest of you here. That nice big pot of gold that's waiting for us.
Oh yeah, that's good too.
End of the rainbow.
Well,
I
into the adventure.
I look at sorry, who was it that said that? The pot of gold, was that?
That was Llewellyn.
And he's the one that I'm supposed to call
Lou.
So, well.
I'm so confused. The guy sitting next to me with his hands on me, what is his name?
Gwellitrum.
Gwellitrum. Okay.
He is Gwell.
Okay. So who is Llewellyn?
Rifle McBirdface.
Yeah. The guy right next to you is Gwell.
Right. So who's Llewellyn?
The guy across from you.
But who's on first?
Rifle McBirdface.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So I will look at him and say, "Are you an adventurer?"
The bird says. The bird is not barking. Those are the dogs that are outside.
Saw wore off.
Did our DM just BRB?
Yelling at the dogs.
Oh.
The voice of God yells at the dogs. But the bird on Llewellyn's shoulder goes, "Adventurer."
Ah! They don't talk where I come from. That's so neat.
Oh, I can't get this one to shut up most times.
Well, why would you ever want it to? How novel.
Shut up. Shut up.
Try a little saw music, I guess.
Bird hops down onto the table. Eyes everyone in turn.
I don't think
Starts out of the way the cards that are flying by.
I don't think that's sanitary for your bird to be on the table. People eat off this table.
Well, seeing what I saw you outside, I don't think sanitation is your main concern.
There are other people in existence other than me. I won't deny it.
You go to tap
Good of you.
tap the bird. I roll
Ruffles his feathers a bit, but leans into the tap.
When the bird looks at me, I will say something in Elvish about what a pretty bird he is.
Pretty bird. Pretty bird.
Talk sort of like how Aragorn calmed down Brago just by speaking Elvish at him.
Little need nothing.
Pretty bird.
By the way, do I notice that
What? One at a time.
Said, does he repeat it back to me in Elvish?
No. Well,
So it's translated?
Wow.
hold on. Let me make sure.
That's
Damn,
one hell of
bird.
a bird. Damn, bird.
Let me make sure.
Man, you got one crazy ass parrot up in here.
He actually repeats it back in Dwarven.
That's creepy.
Wow. I don't speak Dwarven.
Like, your bird speaks nonsense.
And meanwhile, while Petrick probably doesn't speak Elvish, thinks that the bird just told Petrick that, yes, indeed, I am a pretty bird.
wait, what does he say in Dwarvish?
Pretty bird.
Pretty bird. I beg to differ. For do I notice, by the way, at this point, this their half elves what was it? A great axe with dwarvish runes on it.
I'm pretty
Kitsia, are
sure
you trying to hide it?
can't miss it.
What?
I'm pretty sure you can't miss it.
Yeah, unless she's trying to hide it, it's all out there in the open as you please.
Yeah, 'cause it's really too big for me to stow in any way that would obscure it.
Can I read any of the words on it? I mean, is it visible enough for me to read any of the words on it? What's it say?
It doesn't actually have words on it, just sort of decorative symbols.
Oh, it was supposed to say peace and love, and it says egg roll.
Yep.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have any. There might be something that might look something like a family crest, but it's been sort of, handed down in words only, and it didn't really come across very well. But for the most part, it's just a like dwarven design that doesn't say anything. It just looks nice.
All right.
Dwarvish hen, huh? I say to Llewellyn.
So, okay, my question is, to Petrick, does this appear like a genuine dwarven axe, or like an axe pretending to be dwarven?
I believe it is genuine dwarven.
It is not. It was not dwarven forged. I don't think, because I think that what we had discussed was that my
gift shop dwarven.
no.
It's like dwarven adjacent.
Yeah, so the axe itself is just fireforged steel, but then the runes that are on it, the symbols, were put there by a dwarf.
Petrick is not a blacksmith. He's not gonna necessarily know his metallurgy real well. I'm just, is it possible as a real dwarven weapon, or is it clearly a fake? That's all I want to know.
It's fireforged steel. It's not, it's decent make.
Not steel.
What?
It's not steel, I thought.
No, it is.
It is.
It's fireforged steel.
Right, that thing.
Which gave it the masterwork quality. So it's a very finely made weapon. You can tell by looking at the shaft that it's, been around and been used, but the metal of the head is almost entirely like unnicked and unblemished, even though you can tell that it has been used.
But the design is like carnival dwarven rather than...
No, it's actual dwarven. Like the actual...
Okay, so what I'm going to say next is dependent on whether I think it's actually dwarven or not dwarven. It's not what it actually is, it's what I would perceive it to be.
Make an appraise check.
This is your thing. I need to know.
Well,
it's your perception of it.
Yeah, because you just said that you're not a blacksmith, but I mean, clearly you would recognize the dwarven designs being a dwarf.
Mm-hmm.
For a 10, as far as you know, yeah, it's dwarven.
Now, where does an elf come by a dwarven axe?
Probably from a dwarf.
From my father.
Your father was a dwarf?
Your father was a dwarf?
Oh, yes. It's quite an interesting story now, isn't it?
My father was not a dwarf.
Oh, okay. Explains the height.
Well,
yeah.
He was half dwarf.
For a little backstory, this takes place in the same setting as Reconnections 1, of course, where all the characters, who the hell were the characters? It was Eusebius,
Elfric,
and all the forgettable ones.
The one that could sneak through like dimensions.
Right. Aelfric and Diesa.
Yeah.
They have their adventure is ended. They ascended to godhood. minor deityship, I guess. Like they don't have giant churches to their names, but they've got some people that say tiny prayers to them before doing the thing.
Patron god of archery.
Right,
No,
Katisha.
arranging.
Yeah, and I'm a builder. So every time I measured a piece of lumber, you say a little invocation to Aelfric, god of ranging.
What? All right, Katia, go. Continue.
References.
My father was, or wait, hold on. All right, I can't remember. I have to look up and see what I told you, Dave. So give me a second to check the messenger. I will explain it as either my father or my grandfather was half dwarvish, and then I will get back to all of you all on which one that actually is.
I've got it here.
So you got
The best. Katsia's father knew of Diesa, his grandmother, but after his father left her, before her time with Avik and Elfric, he never knew what had become of her, of Diesa. She tended to stay away from populated areas and traveled so much that even if her son tried to seek her out, it would be nearly impossible in the vast Cloverlands.
Okay, so my great grandmother was a full-blooded dwarf.
Was Diesa.
Yes, was Diesa. But
I guess I forgot that Diesa was a dwarf.
yeah, but I don't tell them her name. I just say that my great grandmother was a dwarf, and my father was proud of his dwarven heritage. Wait, wasn't the axe handed down from his father?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So this axe was actually my grandfather's, and who was half dwarvish, and now it's mine.
Like she's got a little dwarf in her blood, but she's more half elf than anything.
You got a little dwarf in you?
Would you like some?
I'm an 8th dwarvish, 3/4 human, and half elvish.
I'm going to give you a little tip here. At a certain point, you just stop counting it.
1/32 Cherokee.
That was me out of character.
Yikes. All right, Senator.
Well,
Cards are dealt. The Raven picks up Llewellyn's cards, hops over and sets them in front of him.
you're not.
The squawks or says, "Fold, fold."
Wrong game.
Yeah, we're playing rummy.
Maybe not have the bird play.
Yeah, it only knows how to play rook.
Llewellyn,
Oh, snap!
Gwell still hasn't even looked at his cards. They're still in a pile in front of him.
Because he's still
Being handsy.
So I've got my cards, and I look at the other players. Are they keeping their hands to themselves?
I don't know how to play Jim Rummy.
Seriously, yes, people keep their hands to themselves. You're
Pat-
looking for sets that
Patrick's
you've
hands-
run before.
Patrick's hands are in his beard.
Seems legit.
The card supplier, who is yet to actually identify himself, he is looking at his cards as well.
Okay,
Right.
so I have my hand of cards, and I'm holding them the way that I see other people holding them, and I am sort of shifting in a way that because I'm sitting in a corner, I am shifting so that my butt is up against the wall and my knee is toward this guy. So if he wants to keep his hands on me, he is really stretching.
Nope. Since you turned away like that, the hand comes away from your back and goes to your knee. Like Gwell clearly gives no shits about the actual game.
Do I see hand on knee of this person in front of me?
He's not trying to hide it.
I sense motive is garbage, which is because, and the reason for my being so naive.
Do I sense a reason for why this strange old man has his hand on this clearly childlike, mentally childlike person?
Yikes.
What?
That was a diplomacy check.
Natural one.
Who's trying to be diplomatic and failing?
Gwell. He
So-
just leers.
My knee, he strokes my ass.
Yep, on the way to the knee. And passes over your ass.
Whoop.
Oh wait, yeah, that's a good thing.
I will stick
Yep.
invisibly.
Ma'am, do you know this gentleman?
Roll another perception, Kitsia.
And for perception or sense motive?
Perception.
Okay. Reaction.
This time you do feel a tug at one of your at your belt again, closer to your coin purse.
Okay. So, dude got one strike. He's not, or yeah, one strike against him. He's not getting a second one. I want to grab his wrist and sort of turn it back toward the rest of his arm and sort of hold it at bay there in a, I can't really describe it very well, but if you turn,
It's a wrist lock.
Yeah.
basically something like that. I want to do that while still saying sweetly, I've asked you not to do that.
Roll your CMB.
CMB, where the frick is that? There it is.
The grapple.
Fuck! Fuckity fuck.
That does not overcome his CMD.
No.
So while you do attempt to do the wrist lock and he goes with it for a little bit, he stops your movement before it would actually cause him any pain. My apologies if I'm a little handsy.
I also attempted to basically put a hand on him and lay him back into his seat.
So
He's not getting up or anything.
because of the city walls, when I woke up this morning, this is what I went with, DM. I'm sending a whisper your way. So as you, again, defend yourself, Kitsia,
Kitsia.
Yeah.
Kitsia,
Capsaicin.
There we go.
For fuck's sake.
Darryl, from his general sluggish manner, will stand up very quickly and basically attempt to throw a hand out between you and this gentleman.
Literally everyone trying to help me.
Well, now, this is not going to get out of hand, is it? That's not what Darryl sounds like.
I will point out, by the way, that this is the first time that Ketsia has not been smiling. She finally has stopped smiling and is looking rather irritated and possibly a little scared and out of her depth because she's the only woman surrounded by 6 men.
The dealer just snaps his head in Daryl's direction. Not because he sounds different. Like, his expression is entirely different from everyone else's. His is like shock or in surprise. A little bit of wonder. Llewellyn's just sitting there holding his cards, waiting for his turn.
What?
He seems entirely.
What is Gwell doing?
Well, just puts both his hands up. It was my mistake. I will keep my hands to myself.
I would greatly appreciate that, especially considering that that was the second time you've made the same mistake.
Why don't you leave, or at the very least, switch places with me?
He's trying to be very diplomatic now. I suppose we could swap spots.
Is he? How diplomatic is he being?
Reasonably.
17 diplomacy, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
I lean in close to gut theory. Thea?
Really?
And reach across the
Why
table.
can't I why isn't your name your name in this thing? You haven't changed your name. Sorry.
Yes, I have. What are you talking about?
Celia.
Yeah.
There's no L in there.
Katsia. Are you okay?
Yes.
Well, I didn't hurt the girl.
I lean over to whatever this guy's name is.
Which one?
The one who apparently just changed personalities.
Darryl.
Darryl. Are you okay?
Yeah. What? What?
What?
You said. No, you said what?
What?
Anyway.
The card dealer is still just staring at Darryl.
That was awkward.
Apparently, one of the dogs got in.
The place is lousy with dogs. That was awkward.
Some of them belong to the village. Some belong to the adventurers. You never know. It's hard to tell.
Animal
Plug
companion.
the
So we playing a what?
end.
Asks Lou.
I'm up for it, but someone will have to to me.
He puts a silver coin in the middle of the table.
Ew. I sort of look at it, and then I look up at everyone expectantly.
You do know we're playing gin rummy, right?
No, I've never played before.
Well, that can't
No, I say it to Louis.
Louis. Well, that doesn't mean there can't be stakes. The bird says, stakes.
What knowledge would gin rummy be? History, local,
Engineering.
engineering. Bam! I'm proficient. Crap!
No, I don't even know.
I've never played that before either.
I'm not sure there's an applicable knowledge. Just make a general intelligence check.
So do I get to roll again?
Yeah.
Nice. 15. Do I know this game?
Yeah, it's not too difficult. It has spread quite a bit to several cultures.
I hope you don't mind if
When you spend time with the elves, they call it something else, but it's the exact same thing.
I hope you don't mind if I help the lady.
Which is why I don't know how to play it, because if they play it with the elves, I probably would know it just under a different name.
No, by all means, go for it.
Okay, so
It says, well.
I attempt to instruct you.
He looks none too pleased that you're instructing her instead of him.
Well, the fun part about instructing is that you don't need to have your hands on me to do it.
Darrell is far from getting handsy with you. Mostly his body language is such that he is a barrier between you and the rest of the room, which is hard to do and also talk to you like quietly.
So, as he's sort of explaining the game, like basically all he really needs to do is say, it's a lot like X, except this is what they call it in human civilization, and I'll probably catch on.
Yeah. I don't know anything about it.
Possible that my father would have taught me, even if the elves that I stayed with, being particularly up, would have frowned upon this sort of activity. It is possible that my father would have taught it to me.
The bird stares at the dealer and says, "Cards, cards," and actually gets dealt in.
The bird is a card shark. Nobody realizes.
The bird doesn't know what he's doing. His was a -1.
-1.
And those are the basic rules. Refresher.
Is it my turn yet?
Gwell is listening, and it seems like he's trying to learn it along with Ketsia. Like he doesn't quite actually know how to play it.
I
Does Table actually know how to play this?
Doesn't know what he's doing.
Do what?
He requested the game.
No, Petrick did.
I did.
Oh.
But Gwell was going to instruct me, and he doesn't even know how to play.
Uh-huh.
Oh, he knows how to play.
Yeah.
His backfield is in motion.
The dealer is doing pretty well.
I see him trying to listen to this instruction, and I just get quieter and more whispery.
Okay.
Also, it's a generally good principle to know the name of your dealer. Sir, I don't believe we've been formally introduced.
Well, that's my mistake, don't you know? They call me Quantavius.
Quantavius.
Yeah, good to meet you.
Likewise.
Good, you, sir.
Me?
Yeah. You, I think I read about you guys once upon a time.
Did you know?
You got a special connection with the dead, don't you?
Special's one word.
Petrick perks up at this a little bit.
They're talking about death, my favorite subject.
And what would you know about the dead?
What's it called? Modicum, mediocre, medium. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm led to understand.
medium. Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, well, easier for you to say from over there.
Oh, I suppose so. I got none of them ghosties whispering in my ears.
Count yourself lucky.
I will lean toward Drill. Are there really spirits whispering in your ears?
That's why I don't get any sleep.
Oh.
I need the rest of you guys to do intelligence checks for the game.
Plain old intelligence or knowledge of something?
Just intelligence. Patrick, even though you suggested it, you're not doing great.
It's like it's a lot like hearts, right?
He's stacking the deck.
Oh, I would never. Hearts are sacred, don't you know?
I haven't gotten dealt a hand this bad since I haven't.
I've never.
I just haven't.
I haven't had a hand this bad since I had it amputated.
Game's going well. Gwell seems to calm down and get into the game a little bit as it goes on. Quantavia seems to have kept himself designated dealer. Eventually, I'm sure somebody gets curious at some point, and Llewellyn says the Raymond's name is Cole.
Cold?
Cole.
Cold?
Cold.
C-O-L-E.
Like the slaw?
Yes,
Gotcha.
except a bird. Bird sloth.
Oh, I would have thought it was C-O-A-L since he's so dark.
Well, it's what he calls himself. I'm sure it's a play on words, the clever bastard. Game goes on. Night progresses. People start trickling upstairs to go to sleep.
So what's this event thing going on in town I hear about?
Bartender brings over a round of drinks for everyone.
Just water for me.
Water for you. Wine, water, and a mug for Darryl.
Yep, the usual. More dishes than I need.
Llewellyn's drinking the brown ale. Gwell, he's drinking fancy wine. And Darryl's got some kind of juice.
Some kind of juice.
Quantavius has juice.
No, it's not. It's not the kind of vinegar that I wanted, but I need that energy drink. Don't you see my eyes?
They might have some tea.
I suppose they might.
Oh, some nice chamomile, maybe.
Yeah, that's a forlorn hope right there. More like a breakfast tea.
Shouldn't you at least try to sleep, though?
Oh, I've tried to sleep.
Have you explained to your friends that you need to sleep?
Communication isn't always two-way.
Everybody's drinking up, playing games.
So I started asking earlier. So what's somebody want to explain to me this event they're having in town? I hear about.
Oh yeah, this adventurous event.
Adventure.
Everybody roll will saves.
What kind of stupid name is that?
You're a stupid name.
Oh, apparently I didn't.
Okay, now I get a bonus to this because reasons. Nope, not this one. Okay, never mind.
Ooh.
Beautiful.
All right. Petrick,
Yep.
you see Ketsia, Darryl, Lou, Montavious, and Gwell just slump over onto the table.
This is why I drink water and only water.
Sleeping.
Hold on.
Never even said what I was drinking.
What are you drinking?
I probably would have been drinking wine
Well, there you
because
go.
I'd be used to it.
Wine. It dulls the senses.
Patrick, does a 23 hit you?
Hit AC?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Well, make a perception check.
Do you notice that it hit you?
Oh, you don't notice somebody coming up behind you and clocking you over the head with a sap.
Very rude.
And out Patrick goes. He hits the table a little harder than everyone else. That's some dual damage, though. So
So my 18 didn't save against whatever that was?
it did not.
Fuck.
Is it a sleep effect? Because she's half
Yeah,
health.
I'm immune to sleep effects.
No, not a sleep effect.
Okay.
And when you wake up,
Level 1.
right?
Honestly, I'm amazingly easy to put to sleep.
And
Wait.
really grateful
Actually,
as well.
Yeah, it's like, oh, thanks.
he'll wake up and it'll be the best sleep he's ever had.
I also have a +2 bonus to saves against enchantment, if that helps.
Which would make it a 20.
Okay.
What's the sap damage, buddy?
What the hell's the thing? Hold on.
Let's see the roll.
3 subdual damage.
Ow.
Why did you hit me with that?
We're playing cards. You want to be dealt in? Ask this guy. Don't hit me.
Seat's taken.
Hold on, I'm prepping the next map.
Well, I'm going to have to go get my kid.
Yeah, hold on, it's almost there.
Okay.
It's an oddly peaceful sleep for most of you.
Maybe I need to be knocked unconscious through external means more.
How much does a sap cost?
Yeah. Like I just need a buddy. A buddy system. Hey, can you punch me in the back of the head really hard?
Oh man, it's like one of the services at the brothel. It's like, first we sex you out, then we just knock you unconscious.
Yeah. Steal your wallet. At this point, Daryl's like, worth it. I'll just get another wallet.
All right, and when you finally come to,
Gah, football practice.
this is what you see.
Oh, man,
Darkness.
I'm going to have to zoom way the fuck in.
Yeah, zoom.
Can't
Force
see jack or
pig.
Are we in separate cells?
Yep, except
Okay.
for, well, Daryl and Patrick are in the same cell.
Ooh.
How do they rate?
What? Why did they pair us up?
I'm still asleep.
And that's where we will call it.
Well then.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for stopping in to session 1 of Reconnections 2. Tune in next time to see just how screwed everyone is.